What's up, ladies and gentlemen, Spade here, and welcome. Let's welcome back YouTube Discussions. It has been literally since 2016 April since the first YouTube discussion, and we are finally going to try and bring this back. When it comes to this YouTube discussion, I pretty much just want to go over how I want to try and do this as a series here on the channel. So, the original idea for YouTube discussions for me was to try and conjure up some kind of almost sister to the monthly discussion series. So the original plan was, back then at least, was to try and do a YouTube discussion and a monthly discussion every single month, and it would be a monthly thing. The main thing would be monthly discussions, and YouTube discussions would be its own different thing, but at the same time, it would be a pretty similar kind of series to go coincide with monthly discussions. The hard part I found when it came to trying to make YouTube discussions a thing here on the channel pretty much half a decade ago at this point, I think. The thing would simply be I couldn't think of anything to talk about. But now I feel like I might have a bit of an idea on how we can potentially try and bring this back and to make it monthly as well, hopefully. Will that happen? Hard to say, but we can try and bring this back. So since monthly discussions mainly go over either anything I end up getting that month, anything I've watched and or played, and or anything of note, so to speak, would be talked about in the monthly discussions, and that's kind of what that's turned into over the years. As for YouTube discussions, the original idea was to pretty much, if I found myself listening and or watching and or learning about something like a new release for a game or whatever, then I would give my opinion on it if I checked out said trailer for whatever game or console or pretty much whatever. And the first YouTube discussion was actually my thoughts on VR headsets. It was pretty much a 9-minute video. Yeah, that was something, if anything. But nowadays I feel like I'm probably still gonna try and see if I can do that. If anything catches my eye and I check it out, then I might give my opinion on it. throughout YouTube discussions. That, or for example, for one of the YouTube discussions, I could just do a random list of the remaining games I want to try and add to my collection eventually. Or maybe even you guys can give me some kind of topics or ask me some questions or whatever, and I can answer them in YouTube discussions if you have any. So that's a possibility as well. And overall, YouTube discussions would just be. We could talk about pretty much anything, really, within reason. At least that's what I'm thinking overall. And also the idea of trying to make a list of the remaining games I would like to try and add to my collection would definitely be a bit of an interesting video. And plus, if I did talk about that during the next YouTube discussion, then I could always go back to that video and actually remember exactly the games on my to get list, which might actually be useful. I keep saying there's at least 30 games left I want to try and get, and that would be it. But at the same time, I'm not quite sure if that's less or actually more than what I think there is I want to try and get. YouTube discussions could be pretty much anything. And I could also kind of turn YouTube discussions into almost like the online alt videos I used to do, which I stopped those because I felt I was wasting everyone's time. So I could sort of monthly drawings I do in these videos as well if I want to. That's all. Although this YouTube discussion, I guess you could say, is a ideas list for what this series could try and be, so we can actually try and make this monthly and not a one-hit wonder for a second time. You know? I don't know. I always like the idea of trying to do another series alongside with monthly discussions in a similar format. Although at the same time, I can't deny I have been tempted over like the past year or so, every so often, to potentially add background music to these videos, to the monthly discussion videos, that is. I could also do that with this, maybe. I'm not sure still whether or not that'd be a good idea or not, because I kind of like the way I've been doing these kind of videos. Just a image I managed to conjure up, and at one point, just any piece of artwork I liked and felt like using. But for the past good long while now, I've just been conjuring up my own little images or taking flat screenshots, and that's it. From animes, and that's really it. So I don't know. the idea of adding, and plus the idea of not having any music, kind of just gives a different kind of feel, in my opinion, to these kind of videos. And again, I can't talk for the life of me. So yeah, there is that. I have also debated the idea of flat out removing the idea of a single image and just doing gameplay with no game audio and just have myself rant on as gameplay is being shown. I have been somewhat tempted to go that route and change things completely, but at the same time, again, I can't but feel like I like the current format for these kind of videos. It gives a weird, certain kind of vibe to them, if that makes any sense at all. So, overall, this is just an ideas kind of video. But we can hopefully turn YouTube discussions into, and once again, hopefully bring this back monthly. So, I don't know. So, yeah, I guess if there's some things you want to know, or want my opinion on, or whatever else, or just any topics you wouldn't mind hearing my opinion on, or whatever, just let me know. And if you got any other ideas for YouTube discussions, just let me know, and we'll see what happens from there, I guess. So yeah, I really do want to try and bring this back, because I always have liked the idea of it. So yeah, at this point I feel like I'm just ranting and or repeating myself, so I guess this is May's monthly discussion for 2021. Also, we are doing this on May 31st, and it's been like an hour and a half or so since I've done the monthly discussion for this month. It's actually currently uploading. Once this is done rendering, this is getting uploaded, so yeah. Should be interesting to try and bring this back in some way. Hell, I guess we could also turn this into, if I actually have some questions for you guys, I could also ask you guys some random questions as well. So, you never know, either or. I guess till hopefully the next YouTube discussion, stay golden.